Welcome into Scoops with Danny Mac on Fox 2. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Tonight, the show will focus on MLS coming to St. Louis. It's been a long time coming, but finally, St. Louis will have professional soccer coming to the birthplace of the sport in the United States. My guests will include Carolyn Kindle Betz, the leader of the female-led ownership group that worked tirelessly to bring soccer to the Gateway City. A major part of getting the team was her leadership in solidifying a viable stadium plan and showing not only soccer fans, but the rest of the city and the league that MLS needed to be in St. Louis. Don Garber has been the commissioner of the MLS since 1999. During his time leading the league, it has grown from 10 to 30 teams and set records for attendance and broadcast revenue. He's been at the forefront of growing the sport in North America. From expansion, soccer-specific stadiums, to youth academies, Don Garber has seen it all, and I'll visit with him about what's happening right here in St. Louis. Finally, he was one of the most decorated soccer players to come from St. Louis, and now a lead commentator for the sport of soccer. Taylor Twellman will be with me to discuss what MLS coming to St. Louis means for sports fans in the Gateway City.
There's always been something running through this city. A tenacity, a conviction, a swagger. A spirit that defined us years ago and propels us forward today. Rooted in our traditions, unrelenting in our vision for tomorrow. It's time to welcome back the world's game to America's first soccer capital. It's time to brush off boundaries and defy our limits. It's time to build something for today, for the future. For all of us. From Old North to South Grand, from the Metro East to west of 270. Come together, St. Louis. Rise like the Gateway Arch and let the world know this is our home. This is our city. We are St. Louis City SC.
There is so much excitement related to what's happening right here in St. Louis concerning soccer. And let's bring in Carolyn Kindle Betz. Carolyn, first of all, thanks for being a part of the show. When fans are driving into downtown, what are they going to see right now with the stadium construction?
Oh my gosh, so much is going on right now. So we've started the canopy, the roof on the canopy. We're actually moving over to the east side now. So hopefully this time, a little over a year from now, our stadium will be substantially complete.
Do you get the feeling that people are just going to be blown away when they see this? Many haven't been downtown in a while because of the pandemic. You think they'll be shocked?
Absolutely. I mean, I've been watching it go up, and every time I walk into the stadium, it takes my breath away. It's just such an exciting project to see what it's doing to downtown West, becoming yet another iconic landmark in the city of St. Louis, but to really see, you know, the tunnel that goes under Market Street, and then to open up to what will be a beautiful pitch with, you know, sight lines all around the stadium. It really truly is a unique experience.
What has been the fans' response of those that have seen it in person or pictures online?
I think people are really excited about how unique it is. You know, the canopy, when it's completed, will be one of a kind. And I think there's just so much excitement to see the steel coming out of the ground and to see it turn, you know, start to take shape into a real stadium, because it's happening. We're super excited about it, and I think the momentum is just going to continue to build. You
know, when the opportunity to potentially purchase tickets was made available, you set league records. Were you floored at the response of fans who placed a deposit?
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a crazy day. You know, you wake up in the morning and you have no idea what to expect, and at 10:15 we're getting text messages. We've already surpassed Austin. And just the excitement and the camaraderie and virtual high fives, because we were all still pretty much working from home. It was just an exciting day, and we just kept watching the numbers go higher and higher. And it's an incredible feeling, because it reminded us why we do this every day. But to be able to set the records that we did, we were recognized internationally. It just goes to say how wonderful this region is.
So why do you do this every day?
Because I'm now a soccer fan. Like, I'm so excited to see what this team is going to do, especially, like we keep saying, in downtown West. And it's always been more than a sport. It's bigger than that. It's about the community, and to be able to see different communities have a voice, give us feedback when asked, and to participate in merchandise sales, ticket sales, feedback on the website, pictures, you name it. It really is truly heartwarming, and it's everything that I thought this region could do and more.
So we have a female-led ownership group, and there is diversity everywhere within your organization. How proud of that are you?
I think, honestly, I'm very proud of it. I think one of the things that's been really, again, just a great experience is to see all of the talent that people have. And, we post a position and we have, record number resumes and people interested. But then to move over to the construction site, I was part of the Women in Construction Week, and what a moving event. And the admiration I have for these women that are in the trades, and project engineers to crane operators. I mean, it is truly awe-inspiring. But just to be able to really make diversity a focus was important to us, and certainly making sure that we followed through with that promise was even more important to us. And so it is something that we're proud of, but we monitor very closely.
In terms of the fan support, we know that it is huge. You have to have corporate support, though, too. How has that corporate support been for what you're trying to accomplish?
Absolutely. Every time we call, whether it's a sponsorship opportunity, a suite sale opportunity, they take our call, and it's really becoming exciting and fun to start developing these relationships with different corporate partners. Some we've had established early on, and some are new. So I think that, once again, the business community, we asked them to come support us. They did above and beyond. And so we're just looking forward to adding more to our founding partners and just our sponsorships in general.
A big part of what you are doing is getting more and more kids involved in soccer throughout youth initiatives. How amazing would it be to see a St. Louis kid play for your club and make it to MLS through what you have developed?
Absolutely. Currently, we're working on building our U16 and U17 academy teams. But to answer your question, that is the goal, to have not just one, maybe 5, start in our academy and make it to MLS, make it overseas, wherever they're happy and they can thrive. But, I think St. Louis has always been a city. We really support our homegrown talent. And I think that, once again, that's very important to Lutz, our sporting director, our coaches that we've hired thus far, and the ownership as well, to make sure that we bring the best talent to the pitch and make sure we watch them succeed wherever it may be.
I'm curious, is there a day that goes by that someone doesn't come up to you and say, thank you for what you've done? It has to be an amazing feeling.
It is an amazing feeling, but I think, honestly, if there's anything better than that, it's when you walk out and you see somebody in a city t-shirt or the lanyard, or they have a sticker. Because, 2 years ago, well, I guess 3 years ago, we didn't really know what was going to happen. And so to be able to see that kind of pride and people, like I said, proudly wearing that stuff, it's amazing. It is an amazing feeling.
So what's next? What can fans look forward to now as you head closer to finishing up the stadium and getting this all started?
So a couple months ago, we put together a fan experience council that's 30 members from all different parts of communities in the region. So we're going to hopefully start launching some more exciting news about our fan experience. And then behind that will be some sporting updates. And so we have a lot coming towards the end of summer. And as always, especially on the fan experience side, we're always asking for feedback. Well,
finally, you were able to take Commissioner Garber on a tour of the stadium site. What was his reaction to it all?
Well, it was so exciting because the last time he was here, there were still off-ramps. It was a functioning highway. So to be able to show all the hard work that's been done, really in almost 2 years, because the last time he was here was August 2019. But it's always fantastic to have anybody from MLS come to visit the region. We can talk about how excited everybody is. We can talk about all the great things we're doing, but to be able to show them just exactly how hard this team has been working is amazing. And of course, we're very thankful that they took time, took the travel, and we look forward to their next visit.
Carolyn, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, Don Garber, the commissioner of MLS, was in town. What are his thoughts on what is happening with the stadium and the franchise here in St. Louis? That's next on Fox 2. Scoops with Danny Mac is brought to you by Schnucks, Lou Fuse, Triad Bank, and Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Welcome back to Scoops with Danny Mac on Fox 2. A reminder, there's daily content on the website, scoopswithdannymac.com. Podcasts, features, articles. If you've missed Bernie Miklasz and his writing, you can see it all daily on scoopswithdannymac.com.
This is a whole new breed of partnership. Introducing our inaugural jersey sponsor, a global leader, born in St. Louis. This is for real. St. Louis City SC welcomes Purina as founding partner, bringing new friends and best friends together.
The folks at Purina teamed up already with the soccer team for the naming rights of the jersey to be worn in 2023 when they officially start play. That's exciting, and so is the fact that the stadium is being built and ready to roll for play. The man that has overseen incredible growth of MLS worldwide is Commissioner Don Garber. And Don, it is great to see you. You had the chance to tour the stadium site. What was your impression?
Well, it's spectacular, and I think it's going to thrill and inspire so many people here in the city and throughout the region. A massive complex, an enormous commitment from the Taylor family. There's so many exciting elements to the whole complex, from the stadium to the training ground to all the environments in and around it. Can't wait for opening day.
What's it been like to work with the ownership group, the city, and adding a franchise here in St. Louis?
Well, you know, dealing as much as we do with the Taylor family, and particularly with Carolyn and her staff, I mean, this is a best-in-class organization, and I think it would make the city of St. Louis and the region proud. No detail left undone. The brand was launched brilliantly. Their waiting list for season tickets, and those season tickets are being converted. Lots and lots of activity around hospitality and a lot of the uniqueness of the fan experience in the stadium. So this is going to be really special when this team launches in 23.
As you know, we saw an amazing response to the opportunity to buy tickets, historic in many ways. What was the reaction by you and the rest of the league when you saw this?
You know, I like to think it of shock and pride, right? Shocked that the numbers what they were, and so proud of what the organization has been able to do. And I think people in the city and in the region should be proud of it. When this team launches and plays its first game in a beautiful facility in a city that's got such excitement for the sport and for our league and for the city organization, people are really going to be shocked like we were, and proud of the club.
You used the word shocked, so what has surprised you about all of this?
I mean, the numbers are just massive. You know, when you have 55,000 seats that have been in essence reserved in a 22,000 seat stadium, that's a good problem to have.
When you were walking around the stadium site, what caught your attention?
You know, it's the size and scope. You know, you're right there in downtown. You're in an environment that the last time I was here was off ramps, off a highway, and Carolyn had said to me, well, we're going to go under this road and we're going to put the stadium over here and we're going to have this training field over here. It was hard to envision how much work would be necessary to do what I was able to see yesterday. A lot of work, a lot of bricks and mortar going into that facility. People should just drive down and take a look at it. It's great to see it coming out of the ground.
As you can imagine, fans are curious about the league as a whole. How healthy is the league right now?
You know, the league is in great shape. You know, coming out of the pandemic, we came through with a lot of momentum, getting into a bubble, getting out of that bubble into our markets, playing our championship game in Columbus with fans, now back in our 2021 season, and slowly fans are coming back throughout the United States. A lot of excitement, a lot of games. There's a lot of international tournaments being played this summer. A lot of anticipation to the World Cup in 2022. A lot of energy.
So many kids play soccer in this region. By bringing MLS to St. Louis, what will that do for the youth that love to play this sport?
You know, I think the first thing is just professionalizing the development process. I mean, this is the hotbed of grassroots soccer. Everybody knows the great number of players who've come out of the community and the history of the sport from the Hill into the creation of Soccer City USA. So now we'll have the ability to create a professional pipeline for some of the elite players, and we're seeing that happening with the launch of the youth programs under City's banner. and the best is yet to come. I mean, this is just starting.
Commissioner, thank you.
Thank you.
Coming up, he was one of the great players in soccer in this region and now one of the top analysts in the sport. Taylor Twellman is next on Fox 2. Scoops with Danny Mac is brought to you by Blue Tail Medical Group, On the Run, Delta Dental, Hair Saloon for Men, and Lordo's Diamonds. Welcome back to the show on Fox 2. Taylor Twellman is one of the best soccer players to ever come out of St. Louis, and now he's one of the best analysts in the sport, and he joins us now. Hey, Taylor, great to see you. What's the reaction of the soccer world about St. Louis getting ready to join MLS?
You hear a lot of people, Dan, within the league just a little more excited about an expansion team than you normally do. Traditionally in Major League Soccer, with the quick expansion that we've seen over the last 10 years, there's more of a competitive edge when new teams come in, and yet everyone just naturally looks at it and says, man, this league needs St. Louis. It's about time we're in St. Louis, and it's about time that the sport and the city come together because it's been there since the 1930s. So, Dan, you hear a little bit more, the word I'm looking for is like reverence to the city, in the sense of they're saying, you know what, it's about time this league, this sport has the mecca, so to speak, of saying what it is. But the other aspect is Don Garber's in the city, seeing the stadium, and now all of a sudden you're starting to see the tangible things, and it's not just some dream. Now all of a sudden there's some momentum, and when that stadium is in the backdrop of that city, dear Lord, it's going to be something special.
What can fans expect when professional soccer comes to St. Louis? From their perspective, what should they be watching for as a professional soccer comes to our city? What do you think they can expect?
I think they're going to be pleasantly surprised and even shocked at how good this league is, especially with the South American, Latin American influence in this league. This league is fast. It's 100 miles an hour, and you've got to be prepared. You just got a real unique blend of athletes in this league, and Dan, it makes for exciting games.
Absolutely. Obviously, in St. Louis, we are so excited about the ownership group. People like the Taylor family, Jim Cavanaugh, Tom Strunk, and others. What are people outside St. Louis saying about the leadership of this ownership group?
Well, one, I'm extremely proud of every single one of those people because they've done something during a pandemic when many people may have pulled the plug and maybe have gotten out. But this group of owners has said, you know what? First and foremost, the city of St. Louis needs this. The city of St. Louis needs to grow. We want to contribute in any which way we can. And that's kind of the message that's in and around Major League Soccer ownership groups, front offices around the league, is they're extremely proud of these owners in St. Louis, making sure that it comes to fruition, because we all know the many a times that it may not have come, even though there was a rumor that it may. And so I look at the Taylor family in particular, Jim Cavanaugh. It's just every single person has done their job, and it's been difficult, Dan. You and I both know better than anyone. When you look at the way this sports world has really taken some hits during this pandemic, I tip my cap to every single one of them for keeping their nose to the grind and getting after it.
I'm fascinated. As a guy that grew up here in St. Louis, has made a career now in soccer, what will this do for the lower levels of soccer in town?
Dan, I went to Busch Stadium and thought I was going to be the next Ozzie Smith. Now, you know my history better than anyone. I played more baseball than I did soccer. Now, all of a sudden, every single 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, boy and girl, because it's extremely important that people understand that this is going to have a huge impact on little girls as much as the boys, now can aspire to represent their home city. Dan, that's going to be a special moment when that first St. Louis kid represents St. Louis City in Major League Soccer. That is going to be a monumental moment because we're all going to look back on it and say, I wish it was kind of me.
Absolutely. My final question, when you come to St. Louis and you're asked to call a game or your first game in that stadium, what are the emotions going to be like for Taylor Twellman that's been pulling for this since you were just a little kid? Now you see it come to fruition.
It's going to be very difficult to keep my emotions in check. I'm not going to lie to you. I've had many conversations with Carolyn Kindle Betz, and There's going to be many of people like myself, generations from my dad's generation all the way down to mine, that all pictured this moment. And yet for me to walk into that stadium, and I'll be shocked if I'm not calling that game, it's going to be very difficult to put into words, because I believe in the city. I know the city's going to hit an absolute home run with everything they do in and around that city. But Dan, you've heard me say this numerous amount of times. The city needs to grow. It needs to come together. It's had some difficult moments over the last 5 to 7 years. And I think this is going to be a vehicle that it can bring the city together from outside to inside, black, white, Latinos, whatever it may be. It's going to be a special day, to say the least.
We are all proud of you and the fact that you represent St. Louis so well, and thanks so much for what you've done for soccer and the city.
No problem, my man. Good seeing you.
Good to see you too. Thanks to Taylor Twellman, Don Garber, the Commissioner of MLS, and Carolyn Kindle Betz. This is Scoops with Danny Mac, and we do this every Sunday at 10:30 here on Fox 2. I'll see you next weekend.